Okay, so I don't really have any burning issues to talk about. I don't even know what the hell I'm going to talk about, actually. I can just say some of the stuff that I've seen. It seems weird. Like, not only does it just seem weird, like on my algorithm and both my accounts. Both my accounts, it's like they just, I don't know. They start flipping numbers. As soon as there starts being movement on my account, it is like they put on the brakes or something and they start trying to take it. I don't know what the fuck they do. It's weird though, because it's on both accounts. So it must be something like, I don't know. I'm sick of trying to figure it out. I'm like, I don't know. I just know it's messed with and I don't know how, or, I mean, I get why. Is that like, there's some kind of a sensor or something that can sense the energy or something. Like, I don't know, because it's weird, because I'll hear other people saying things, especially like, man, it's irritating when you talk about something and then you've been talking about it for a long time, and then you see somebody just all of a sudden figure it out, and then they get like all these people talking or asking them about it, and you know, like they're an expert or something. I don't know, that's kind of annoying. So that is where I feel kind of disrupted by the shenanigans that they do, because that doesn't seem very fair. Like, it doesn't seem very fair at all. So so anyways, but I don't know how it is. Like, some of those people, they get to have their stuff, but mine just constantly is under some kind of censorship. And I know it's like a lot of healing ones. It's lots of spiritual ones, lots of healing ones. Like, so, you know, I know it's a bunch. So anyways, I don't know how some of the people get to go and then they get to say something about something you're talking about. And another thing too, like I was sitting outside and it was kind of sunny yesterday or the day before. Well, for the past few days. But one of the days I was sitting there and I was looking down. I was like, oh my gosh, because my hair, you know, I could see it out there. Down what it's, like, I don't know if you can tell, like when it's out in the sun, it is so red. Oh my gosh. Even when it's in the bathroom, right now it's having you know, a drenching itself day. I had to put some dry shampoo in the front. It was just like, oh my God. Swear to God, I just washed it a day and a half ago, always. And then it will be, my whole head of hair is just drenched with sebum or whatever the hell. It's funny too, because that part too, I feel like it looks like a teenager, like my teenager hair, like the color and the being saturated all the time. It's like, I remember being a teenager and they'd always say, your hair's greasy and you have to wash it every day. By the time you get home, it was already getting greasy again. I was saying, that's so, like, there had to be something more to it. Like, maybe with hormones or something. Maybe that's even why it's doing it. And maybe that is something that they're spraying on us, you know? Like, that could be something that they would be putting into different experiments in different places. And I know this is like the total, like, perfect experiment place. This is exactly like what they like. These little condensed areas. It's more isolated. They can get a better representation of whatever it is they're looking for. And then plus, I think it's like this perfect little valley spot where they can spray us with shit. So anyways, that's another thing. It's just like, whatever. Stella is dreaming. She's having a rough time. She, like, it's so crazy because she'll love to eat treats and go out and walk around. She'll run around the yard. But then when she comes in, she just can't get comfortable and she's laying down. And then I think a big part, too, is that she's bored. I think she's so fucking bored. And I think the house just feels cramped. Like, for her to move around, like, everything she does got to go reverse, pull back, turn this way. Like, everything is maneuvers. And that probably is making her back hurt, too. But I feel 100%. Like, I'm keeping this house. Like, and I'm going to be the last owner of this house. I just feel like some of the things to me, like, for sure, like, things feel weird. Like I said, it feels really weird. Like, it feels so weird, and it feels so excited. Like, I feel like there's about to be this big thing. Like, oh my gosh. And I've been cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. It's weird, because if I even sit down, because Amy told me of this good show on Prime, and I started watching. It's The Flowers of Alice Hart. And I had an aunt named Mary Alice Hart. But anyways, I was watching that, and she keeps interrupting me and telling me she wants me to go outside, and she'll harass me. So if I go outside and I start doing stuff, that always makes her happy. So I've been going out and doing all this stuff. It's like, she'll make me go out and clean the yard and stuff. So I feel like I've been doing all this stuff, and the whole time it just feels like, I don't know, like an excitement. Like, oh my gosh, exciting things are about to happen. And I feel like this is my house. Like, everywhere you look, like, it's like I created this place. And I feel so much like the energy of, you know, them being able to take things from us is that energy of dependent, like the people who still believe that is true for them, because that is what they believe. But I feel like when you pull away from that belief, that belief can no longer be real. And so it kind of, you know, falls apart. Like I had said in that show, that Leonardo DiCaprio show, in whatever it was called, Insipidus, something. And he's going from different realities, and this reality will like fall apart as he's running and stuff. And that is what reminds me even like this reality is falling apart. And as long as you know that that's not real, then it's not real. And I just saw this video too, as all this stuff with the Nickelodeon stuff is going around. Like, that seems like oh, those videos, and the ones making fun of J-Lo. Oh my God, J-Lo is being like, she is not liked at all. Like, this reminds me of like 2015, when I was on Facebook and I saw how people thought about Hillary. It's just like, all these people just keep coming out, and nobody likes her. She's, I don't know. Even people who say that they've met her and stuff say she's real snotty. Kind of like what they were saying was kind of reminded me of Mariah Carey, what they always say about her. And it was just fake and phony and full of herself. And but it's weird. It's weird how all this stuff keeps coming out. Like, I saw a video of Michael Rappaport, and he had decided he had to come clean. He couldn't be dishonest anymore. He had to become clean, and he had to tell who's paying him for his videos. So he's being paid by all these blue people, blue organization. Like, I don't know, like those people. Man, there's just a lot about that whole thing. I think, you know, Kanye's saying that stuff, I think it was like opening the door, opening Pandora's box or something. Because then once you see, you just see. And the people who don't see just don't see. But anyways, let me think, because now I've got a bunch of things. Okay, because the Leonardo, the J-Lo, the people who see and don't see. A lot of people don't see. But you can't worry about like what because they're supposed to be hit with this other impact. Whatever is supposed to play out, they're supposed to go through that experience. So you're not supposed to have them see before they can see. But okay, so J-Lo being roasted by everybody, making fun of her, doing videos, making fun of her, mocking her. And there's this lady came out, and she's like, we went to high school with you. She's talking about her and like the other friends they sat next to. And they went to a private school. She always tries to act like she's all street. But they went to a private school or something. And they said, and the lady was saying, we can't stand you. Like, quit trying to pretend like we're, you quit using us. Quit going back and talking about so you can try and have people think that you're down to earth. Going back to your roots or something. It's like, you're full shit. It's just like, oh yeah, Michael Rappaport is his too. Oh yeah, because he was saying who was paying him, and yeah, it's just so shady. Like, even on like, it represents, like, I heard the stats today, some, like, I don't know, 12% of the population or something, but it's like 100% of the administration currently. So, but it's not just blue people, it's the Z's. The disease is the Z's. That those people, there's a certain group, there's like a different level, and those people, but they use the other people is like their beard, but the other people get used because they have such an ego. So, like, there's a whole bunch of shit. There's a lot of stuff going on. And these are all, like, souls, too, that are working out different things and stuff. Like, I don't think all those, the Z people and stuff, like, I don't think Finkelstein or something, I don't think he's hundreds of thousands of years old or anything. I don't think he's 10,000 years old. He's probably not even 100 or 1,000 years old or any of that stuff. But fucking those other people, though, those Rothschilds and those people, like, there's a 13 original family, what they call the original Phoenicians or something like that. And even in the Gaia channel, Mateus DeStefano talked about the 13 original tribes. And so anyways, I think that those people, like, I don't know that their exact model was there. Like, I think that they got into this cloning thing. And there's a bunch of stuff where a lot of people are thinking that Kate is a clone, that this is why they're dragging it out. They're going to probably announce that Charles is dead, and then bring on the fake Kate and pretend like all's good. But whatever's going to go down, it's all going to be to expose stuff. Just like, Michael Rappaport coming out like that. It just seems so funny for him to come clean. He's just such a, like, I don't know. It just seemed weird. And who knows, maybe that's like part of their plan too. Like, so then we think, oh, we can trust him. I wouldn't think that. But, but I do feel like the energy on the planet is making people expose themselves, and it takes an extra step to expose yourself, to say your truth. And, like, J-Lo's trying to, like, she's speaking her truth through representing how she represents herself, like, so full of herself. So her truth is, she's just oblivious, I guess. Even on these documentary and this concert or out, like, something that she did, that her team was saying, no, don't do it. And she's like, I'm doing it. And it's blown up, and so it's crash and burn on her. But that is, like, your truth is going to come out. Whatever energy you put out is going to come back and get you. And the speaking your truth is going to weigh heavy on somebody's heart. They are going to feel that they have to say their truth because they're going to feel too uncomfortable. It's just going to keep being uncomfortable. And so okay, because then I had okay, so the Leonardo, okay, so the other one, so the Leonardo one, oh yeah, because the Nickelodeon stuff, like, oh my God, and the Ariana, like, there's a bunch of shit blowing up with her. Like, oh my gosh. You know, I mean, she's like a kid, so I don't even know her music or anything. But I don't know if she's putting out a new album or something right now, and it's another man stealing one or something. Like, she apparently just openly says it's okay to steal other people's men or something, and people are irritated about it. I was like, see, that's the energy you're putting out. It's not like everybody's going to be like, yeah, cool, let's all steal everything. No, the world is going to be changing. They're going to be looking at you different. And so, yeah, that's where people are going to start feeling shame. Lady Gaga tried to pull some shenanigans. She tried to come out. She's so absurd. So she tried to do a big woman, I don't even know what woman day they were celebrating. I swear to God, they invented Woman Day just so they could create Division Day. But so they had some Woman Day celebration, and Lady Gaga decided that she was going to elevate Dylan, I think his name is Mulvaney. And Dylan is such a paid, he's like a fucking Kardashian or something. Which, there was a whole thing the other day, there was all these cops, a whole big thing at the Kardashian, one of their houses, where whoever a neighbor was or somebody was getting this film. And there was tons and tons of it could have been somebody who goes around and tries to get footage or whatever, but there was tons and tons of cops. So I'm sure they're getting busted and looked into and shit, because it's all shady shit. But Dylan, see, he was like some kind of, you know, I don't know if he was like a comedian. I don't think he was like stand-up comedian, but he was like a stage kind of person, and like and created persona kind of person, like made his little persona. And so it seems like he made that persona and then used it, but it seems like he got used. It seems like he allowed it because he thought it was going to elevate him, but he's always, to me, is looking silly. And like, he put out an album or a song or something, and people are making fun of it or him and roasting the crap out of him too. But on Lady Gaga's thing, so she did a bunch of weird poses with them, talking about, like, you know, I don't know, like he's a leader in womanhood or something. He can be whoever he wants to be, blah, 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 whatever, her shenanigans. She's on a damn script. So she, and people just lost it. Like, people went all in. I think a lot of the action happens on Twitter. But so people went all in on her, and were not happy about this. And so she had a reaction, and she came back like all crying about it, you know, and people are so mean, and people are like, the people are kind of, I don't remember if she said violent or something, but like she's being violently attacked or something. You know, it's one thing if you just don't agree. Well, she's trying to open everyone's mind to accepting, you know, transhumanism. Please, everyone accept this, please. It's life or death for me. But anyways, so I guess it's crackers free or whatever it's called, shadow, whatever it's called. What is that? That is an old thing. I swear to God. Curtains. It's curtains. It's curtains for you. Probably Gaga. Sorry. Like, you're not going to be able to turn us at this point. So, got her, like all these people being exposed. And the Nickelodeon, the documentary, like that has got people just in a fucking uproar. Like, so many people talking about it. So many people sharing shit about it. And at the same time, I don't even know if I had even talked about this before, but I have been seeing Amanda Bynes on the thing. I think I had mentioned that because I was saying, I remember talking about it because I don't want to see it because I really liked her. She was like she was really, I don't know, I liked her because she was on these kids shows when my daughters were young. And they would watch her, and they would want me to watch a movie with them, and we would watch her. I was always like, I really like that girl. And then, you know, all that stuff started happening. They started seeing she was mentally ill, and she was in the streets naked and stuff, and I was super sad. And then she was doing weird stuff, throwing stuff out windows, and I don't even know. It was the same kind of stuff that happened with Brittany. And then, and so lately she's been on TikTok, and now, the other day, she said she's not doing the wigs. She changed her mind about the wigs. Now she's doing extensions. So she got extensions in, and but everything that she talks about is always a super flat affect, and I don't know, it can be totally over medicated. It could be one clone too many. Like, who knows at this point? You know, it's just sad, because the original was, you know, she seemed like a really cool kid. And just full of talent and stuff. And that was what they got her in on, I guess, in the Nickelodeon thing. Because I keep seeing people having clips, because I don't have Netflix. You have to have Netflix to see this documentary. And anything on Netflix, you know, is manipulated anyways. But, you know, I mean, if the white hat people or whoever, I just call the white hat people who, like the white energy, the light energy. We'll just call them the white hats, because it seems like the most productive. But it could be that they have taken over, and that they're having stuff released. And also the channel Tubi is full of disclosure documentaries and stuff, and it's another free channel, and it's got all sorts of stuff. I keep hearing about that. And so on the Netflix one with her, you know, there definitely can be some manipulation, but it's weird, because it does seem like it really is exposing a lot of stuff. It has a lot of people talking. And there's just been, oh my gosh, all these fucking Netflix executives are all fucking criminal people. And they're, oh God, they're just so gross, man. This guy's so gross. The one that got Amanda. And he got a bunch of other girls, because there's more. This one girl said, I don't know what show she was on, I think the Ariana Grande show. And she said, you know, like, you had to do stuff with him to get time and everything. And he had tons of girls he was seeing, and they were all underage, because they were all little girls off these shows. So he just gets these little girls just, you know, prostitute themselves out to him. He's the master of their fucking reality. I don't know. But, you know, you gotta remember, all these souls came in for this stuff, to learn from this stuff. And so even when it's outrageous, it's like, you kind of just gotta let go of it. It's like, it's not really our business. It's their stuff. We can look at it and learn from it, and see and make changes, I think, in society. But still, it's like, you know, those souls have whatever stuff that they're working out. And then, you know, all those, nothing happens by accident. So many people think this stuff just happens. It just happens. No, it's pre-planned. Everything is pre-planned before you get here. And, because what was the other one? There was another one I was going to say too. So that, who was that one? There's another one that seemed like they were really exposing, oh, it was, okay, yeah, it was off of that, my nose is running, off of that same video, the Nickelodeon one, I think, and Leonardo DiCaprio, and he was a little kid, and he was so cute. He looks so much like my youngest brother, and he was so cute when he was young, and he kind of reminds me, like, I've been around kids like him. Like, and in the video, it kind of shows him, like, he's kind of one of those kids that just, like, hangs on people and stuff. Sometimes you can just pick up on more things than you want to pick up on when you think about something. Like, but anyways, so he kind of like lingers his hands and, you know, pulls like as he's walking by you and stuff. And so the actor, director, or whoever the fuck his guy was, he is in one of the clips with them. And man, these guys, just to look them in the eye, well, you don't get to look them in the eye, but to look and see them looking, it's like you're kind of looking in their eyes. And it is like, I don't know, there's sickness. And Leonardo, you know, he got so used and so passed around. And then look at like he can't have like regular relationships. Like he never has, like, I think he just goes from girl to girl. And who knows, maybe they even force him. Maybe he got passed around so much by guys. He was very cute, really pretty little boy. And I think he was very kind of loving and handsy and stuff. And it's sad too, as a lot of kids, you know, kids can be like that. Kids can be like loving and handsy and want to hang on you and be up in your face and stuff. And I don't know what kind of mind it takes that as like kids flirting and being sexual. It's like, that's not what they're doing. And it's like it's more like a safety thing. It's more like when they feel safe, then they will. And then look at how those guys, the groomer guys, how they can catch on to that too, how they can pick up on, you know, the kids that are, you know, eager to please you, want to have fun, loving, and, you know, they really do pick certain kids. And then I think they tell them a lot of stuff that they want to hear, build them up. But in the video, it almost looks like, you know, Leonardo's like kind of flirting with them and stuff. But I think like Leonardo would have been that kind of like personality. Like people would have taken his flirty just because how he acted. Or maybe they abused him so much he just became overly sexualized. I don't know. But I've seen a lot of stuff throughout this stuff that just like makes me so sad for him. Because he was such a talented little kid too. And all they go and they take these little kids and they just squash them. What was the one I was just talking about the other day? And she was on some show and she was popular, and then she left and gave up all her career, went off on drugs. So many of them. And then you see the guys who are doing it and they are just yuck. They're yucky looking. Like James Gunn. That guy looks like... For one thing, he looks like if he laid down on a little kid, he'd probably squash him. Like, that would be intimidating anyways. But his whole thing, they all just look like, I don't know, pervy little kids or something. They just look sneaky. They look pervy. They look like they've got something sneaky going in their eye or something. And then there's just like no parents. Well, they're good at being able to, like that gun guy, he was like taking Amanda into being alone with her all the time. And that wasn't supposed to happen when they were little kids. He was alone with her all the time, saying that they were running lines or whatever. And you can't stand up to it. Like the one girl who was in this one show, Victoria or something, that she said you couldn't stand up to him. They would just take away your time on the air. They would write your character out. They just fucked with these kids. Like, so anyways, all that stuff is going to just keep coming out. And all these, you know, people who are assholes are going to keep looking like assholes. Because it really is like whatever energy that you put out is going to come back. You're going to have to face who you are. And, you know, Lady Gaga, obviously, she has got a lot of ego. Like, can you imagine to be in that position, to be who she is, and then to be like fall apart or something? I don't know. I don't know. They get so, it just seems like, it seems insatiable. There seems to be an insatiable, like you reach all these goals, like you get all these, what are they called? Like plateaus, the things that you try to reach, like fame, money, have this, have that, have people that work for you, all of that stuff. You know, you keep doing it. Oprah is somebody who she'd give a fuck. Like, and you don't think, I don't think she'd be going out putting on something skimpy or anything. I don't think she'd give a fuck about anybody. But, you know, like some of these people, it's like it's never enough. It's like, well, they need everybody to love them, and they need this, and they need that, and it's like, oh my God, like how, it must be hard to ever feel happy or fulfilled or satisfied when you're just always needing something more. I can't be happy unless everybody agrees with me. I can't be happy unless I have this. I can't be happy unless I'm doing it. You know what I mean? And so, anyways, it's just weird. It's weird, you know, seeing like so many of these like super rich, famous women too, all out there in the skimpiest clothes. It's like, that to me is so, it doesn't match. It doesn't match like a woman who is successful, who has self-respect. You don't find her just exposing herself. And that doesn't mean she doesn't have a good body. I'm sure you can find some, like, some people who are, you know, like professors or scientists or whoever, who looks at themselves more as respectable. And they, you know, they're, as an older woman, even with a good body, they're not going to go out and just keep exposing their body to try and show off like that, you know, like, I think it's strange how they have these women, like, even at all these different ages, too. Because you have Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Dolly Parton. Like, all of these ladies keep coming out. I mean, you kind of expect that when it's, like, Rihanna or Cardi B or something, because they are constantly out there. I think that is a big push. I think a lot of women in the darker skin, when they try and break into the music thing, it's like right away, man. Right away. They've got to just be like, I don't know. I don't want to just say skanky, but it's like lowering themselves or something. You know, I don't know. Just the whole industry is just like, seems to just add humiliation. And then when you will let your humiliation be paid for, it's just like, I don't know. But, you know, like Taylor Swift, she wasn't always out there scantily clothed. I'm pretty sure that she went out, like, when she first started, like, wearing dresses and cowboy boots and stuff. And the, Beyonce, she was with that girls group. I think that they still wore clothes, but I don't know. Some of these ones, like, when they go and, like, Kim, who is that? Kim, the ones who tried to compete with rappers. It was like they had to really, and I don't know how much Rihanna tried to, if she did, or if she hung out with them or something. But it seems like they've always overly sexualized her. I think even on Ariana Grande, I think she now is going, like, not putting on a bunch of clothes. But I think when she first started, she wore clothes. And maybe some of them wore clothes because they were so young. But as soon as they could be of age, they took their clothes off. But they show that in that movie, A Star is Born, with Lady Gaga. I thought, because when she was going to go, how they just wanted to change her hair, change her just into just sex. So all they want to do is sell sex. They don't give a crap about like your music or your talent. They just use you. And then these girls just like, these girls get treated like strippers. And then you have one as successful as Dolly Parton, and she's like, hell yeah, let's just, and then it's like, okay, so is this what happens like after you've been cloned a lot or something? You just don't give a fuck. Just whatever. You've lost all dignity, all self-respect. Just like, fuck, who cares? Fuck, I don't know. You know, I mean, there's so much going on too. You know what today I was really seeing is people are totally programmed like computers. They're just programmed. Everybody's just running programs. They're just programmed. They just think the way the program tells them to think. They don't think for themselves. They just run programs. And trying to get somebody to think for themselves is getting them to break free from programs. So they have to shift out of a program and then kind of develop their own program, like write their own program. And then you kind of like, you have to look at what was wrong with the program you were running. And you see like, where were the holes? Where were the problems? But that is how they have so many people, and where people think they're just NPCs and stuff. They're just running programs. They don't think for themselves. Well, that's low chakra anyways. It's just being reactive. But you know, I think in this reality, on top of just, you know, if you were lower chakra, you would just be on autopilot. But here, they even have gone the extra, I think, and wrote programs into our society. So they've programmed people. So, but a program can only work on you if you don't have an internal program running, or maybe it's an internal dialogue. Maybe internal dialogue comes from your communication with your soul. Maybe the people who don't have internal dialogue are just running programs. I don't know. Like, you'd have to be inside of every single person to try and figure it out. And nobody goes inside of everybody. So it all comes down to just each of us, how we perceive and how we look at things and how we understand ourselves and how we understand this reality. Is whatever makes sense to you is what makes sense. You know, you can't make something that doesn't make sense to you make sense. So your reality is your reality. Because other people's reality can be different. And that doesn't mean their reality is different. Or, I mean, doesn't mean theirs is wrong. Their perception is wrong. It's just that your perception is only up to where your perception stops where you stop perceiving. Like, there's learning all the time. In order to understand more, it's like you have to enter the room, and the walls have to become colored and decorated, and that is the experience. That is the learning. So it's like going into the experience and having the room. Like, I don't know if this, like, the visual totally makes sense to me. Like, I totally get, like, how reality shows up, it plays out, it paints itself on the walls. You go into a room and it becomes a reality. And so and everything is different realities, and everything is, you are the creator of your reality. So it is however you perceive whatever it is you're paying attention to. So it's everything is variable and versatile, and we get too hung up on thinking that we need somebody to, you know, give us a thumbs up or tell us we're right, or to get some sort of a confirmation from outside of us. And I think partly is that we've got to just get comfortable without having any kind of acknowledgement from outside of you that you're not crazy. And I don't know, like, because it's like It was our need for acknowledgement is why they could create diagnoses and stuff. Why they could say, like, you're neurodivergent, you're attention deficit. Like, we had to believe something was wrong with us to begin with, for them to say, you have this wrong, you have this wrong, you have this wrong. We had to be thinking something was wrong with us. We had to somehow look at ourselves as being broken or not fitting in or struggling or not understanding ourselves. So, but then we go to them, and then they can create, you know, what's wrong with us. You know, like, it's weird, really, when you think about it, because there is nothing wrong with us. We're just at this time and space where the people who were in charge made money off of us being sick and having something wrong with us. And they are very sneaky about making sure that we all believe we have something wrong with us. Because it makes people feel so insecure. Like, it makes people feel like they're not good enough, there's something wrong with them. And life, you know, can be a struggle. And, you know, one thing, too, I think is really makes a difference is how, you know, there's so many people here and we're all different vibrations. And so then, you know, we go and we're frustrated because people don't understand us. They don't get us. We don't get them. We're like, but I think when we start really understanding, just like we're all different vibrations, and it's just kind of like, let that go. It's like, oh, yeah, it's not the same vibration. You know, we don't see things eye to eye. And, you know, there's nobody that's right or wrong. There's nobody that needs to change. There's nobody that we need to discuss it, figure it out. But it is like, it isn't like we need to discuss everything wrong with our society. But it needs to be in our discussions. Like, we need to not be hiding from it. We need to let it fall out of our mouths easily, not be ashamed of it. So we need to, because we all need to take ownership for our society. Because we've all allowed what has gone on. We've all somehow allowed it. But remember, you know, we all came in to experience this, and so we could grow from it. And then plus there's a lot of healing and sealing up old soul things, and so there's lots of stuff going on. So it was a good opportunity for lots of souls to wrap things up in different storylines, I guess. So anyways, that is, you know, the whole thing is I just think people just get too caught up in thinking weird about life. And it is, you know, whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen. Everything that happens because it's supposed to happen. Nothing can happen to you that's not supposed to happen to you. Nothing happens to you by accident. Everything is like written. It's written in the stars. It's written before you come. You know you wrote the story. And then you just, you know, you forget the story. So you can come in and you can experience what is the story. So the stories all have, you know, a lot written into them. They have a lot of learning and growing and all sorts of different experiences in all the different stories. So, but they're all written ahead. Nothing happens by accident. Nothing can be changed. You can't get up and, like, I think that the people, it seems like they're starting to kind of fall apart on the people who keep thinking like you could just manifest stuff. Like you can just manifest your best life. You can manifest, like, I don't even know. It seems like all wacky how all these people are looking at it, this group of people, but it seems like they're starting to, like, catch on Like, I feel like there's a lot of things where people are starting to catch on. Like, it's starting to be a little bit more aware. Because that is another thing, too, is the energy. Is just going to keep pushing you and pushing you to have more awareness, to think about things more deeply and stuff. Oh, yeah, and they found that Riley kid. They said that they've already identified him. And he was in the water, but there's some weird stuff. So now they're saying that he was texting his girlfriend or something, and he wrote a word weird. But that's, like, that's kind of easy to do, especially while you're walking in the dark. And then because there's cop footage. So he was walking past a cop, and the cop had those camera things on, and he was doing an investigation on a car being vandalized. So when he walked by, he asked the kid, you know, hey, how are you? And the kid said, oh, good, how are you? And just kept walking. And but you could hear him, and I think you see him going by. I haven't seen the footage. I've only heard people talking about it. But they said it sounds like after he finished saying that to the cop, it sounded like he said, where are you parked? Something about parked. And he didn't sound drunk or anything. And then it was only a few minutes after that he was found. Or after a few minutes after that is when his thing pinged and lost all contact. And so it was right after that. And so then speculation is like, well, maybe he got into a car with somebody. I still feel like there's something with that. I still feel like there's something else going on with the, when you have a place that does all of that, where it's known by the locals, don't drink in there, it's dangerous and stuff. So to me, that is, there's issues going with the harvest, or traffic isn't. Yeah, I think the harvest is the biggest thing to, and who even knows, because you know, like all of the coroners and shit, like they have to be paid off. You got to think about, we're ran by gangsters. They're just paying people off all the fucking time. And then probably, and then also, you know, they'll make sure that the people need that money. Like something will happen, and then the people will need the money, and then the people will take the money. But then it just gets worse and worse and worse. So it's best to just go away from these kind of people. They'll just suck you down. But, you know, it's all these different souls working or playing out these situations. But so I bet you that there's a lot that end up in the coroner's offices that are missing a kidney or two, or missing other things, other parts and stuff. I bet you. And then there's also people that just, you know, disappear and never see them again. And I'm sure they end up the same thing. So, I don't know. I think that that's a big issue. And then when they're saying, like, about traffic, and they're taking a guy, especially a college-age guy, it's not like a, you know, it's a little, but, you know, a healthy guy who's on social media, where those people can point and say, oh, yeah, that guy right there. And then, even if it was a red room situation, then discard it into there, because they figure, well, and washes away evidence, bloats the body, things come out, and they're missing, and they just say, oh, well, it's probably eaten by fish. But, like, if you haven't ever seen Hostel, it's bad. Like, it's so bad. Like, those people pay to watch people be tortured. Like, it's weird. Like, I don't know. I don't understand how people can even do. I can't stand to watch people get hurt. I can't stand when Stella's whining at me. listen to someone scream in pain. And man, I don't know. This place is so dark. It's so dark because even the people who come and have it done, they have to agree. It's not like it just happens by accident. Like everything is destiny. Everything is pre-planned. Everything that happens that you do, everything is pre-planned. Everything is fucking destiny. There is no, you can't speed it up. You can't change it. You can tap into it. You can tap into your destiny and get on your best timeline. All these people are always like, get on your best timeline. Oh, this is what's going to happen. I have these tarot people. Look, this is what's going to happen. You know, if you want to claim it. And it's just going to come to you. This is the most absurd shit. Nothing just comes to you. What comes to you is what you put out. You got to be putting something out. So if you're putting out energy, that energy will come back to you so you can see, you know, is that the kind of energy that you want to be putting out? Do you want to make changes? I think there's a lot of people are going to find out that you probably would have been better off putting out a lot more friendlier, happier stuff. There's going to be a lot of hard, hateful stuff that's going to come and hit people hard. And there's going to be a lot. Like, there's been a lot that has been going on over the past few years, but like that we're just about to hit hard into this awakening. And that is going to be a lot, man. Because, you know, no matter what, no matter how many of these people keep saying that they're awake, there's not that many people who are awake. Just because they're awake, the government's bad, medical's bad, food's bad, the air's bad, the sky's bad. It's more than that. You got to wake up to your soul and who you are and what you are, and that no matter what they do, they can't do anything to you. You're here playing a game. Like, there's a lot to wake up to. And, you know, so people have a lot more to go. Like, fucking religious people are stuck. I think the light and love people, or love and light people, they're stuck. They haven't even started fucking doing their ego work yet. There's a lot of people who are going to be doing a lot of ego work. And, you know, I know how it's going to go down. Like, it just seems kind of like, it seems kind of weird as how, like, it would be like drama. It's kind of like, are we just all sitting and waiting now for the April 8th? Like, they gave us that date, and it's like, okay, well, that's when shit's gonna go down. So until then, let's just sit back and do a lot of nothing. Just wait until it gets to be April 8th. And I think I already had told you guys, like, that one guy was saying that they were saying that they've been getting ready for this for a couple of years, and they're expecting that we're going to be, like, a chemical assault is going to be on us, and that we are, I don't know, this big danger, war thing. So, I don't know. It's like, I thought we were already leading all up into there. And I keep seeing things, XRP. So, I think stuff is going with the money thing. Now, that could be the thing that takes us down. We have a lot of things, you know, because we got Joe, we got the money. There's just, we just need something to, you know, fall off the table. And there's nothing we can do to speed it up. There's nothing we can do about it. It's going to happen. It's like it already happened. And so we can't speed up and make it happen before it happens. This is like where we get to watch what leads up to what happens. So, but we can't change when it's going to happen. It's going to happen when it's going to happen. But, you know, this is the view of what led up to when it happened. So this is the experience, what we get to see, how we get to, you know, watch all the things that are going on, and how people were feeling and reacting. And But all those things, see, that's what makes the changes. That's what changes everything. Is us looking at that and thinking about that and seeing it. And it's like us witnessing this happening is what creates the change. So, yeah, we have to go through this. We have to witness it. We have to go through the pain and the facing this sick world that we, you know, because everybody played some parts. Everybody was entangled somewhere in there. And that part of them is going to come to the surface. And they're going to feel like, oh, God, it's yuck, not feel good about themselves. But that is not meant to just be stuck and not feeling good about yourself and being down on yourself. No, the part of the lesson is learning to let go and learning to love yourself, to understand yourself, to see yourself as being human, being yourself as not being perfect, to see yourself as like not being like infallible, like you can make mistakes, you're not perfect, you're a whole lot of everything. And so when you can get into that part and accepting that part of yourself, that's what it's for. That's why this stuff is happening, is so you can feel good about yourself, not to make you feel bad about yourself. So in the process, when you're feeling bad about yourself, you don't want to get stuck there. You don't be stuck just feeling bad about yourself, because that is not productive. That is just more ego, more poor me, victim mentality. You know, everybody give me empathy. Everybody give me sympathy. You know, I'm worse than anybody else. I'm not good. And it's all that. Like, just think about, like, when people do that kind of stuff. It's more, it's kind of attention-seeking, self-degrading, poor me, victim. Like, you got to pull yourself up out of that. You got to pull yourself up into not just acknowledging yourself, but to, like, promote yourself, to love yourself, to elevate yourself, to do things for yourself that you think you deserve. Not, you know, to be down on yourself and to always be, like, hard on yourself. See, when you get to that other part where you are building yourself up, that is when you're on your better timeline. Oh, that was hurting really bad. I kept going, though. Hold on. Oh my gosh, that hurt. Hold on. That always hurts. Oh, bad. My dad, you know, because he had throat cancer. And, in that, the other day, when I was talking about that doctor passing on, hold on. Passing it on in to report to the plastic surgeons, which tomorrow I make another payment. So excited, I can't even believe it. But about the what was that called? That Barrett, I can't remember what it was called. It was some kind of cell thing in my throat. And I was talking about that at the time, as my kids were little, and I couldn't even wear my stand-to-wear bra. It hurt really bad across my chest or my ribs or whatever. And so I had gone in to the doctor to have him check and stuff. And that's when they looked down there and did those tests and everything. And they did not the one that told my the scar tissue. That is an ENT. This is a GI doctor. And they'll look down your throat and look and see if you have an ulcer or whatever. And I had that, whatever it's called, where the cells were outside of where they were supposed to be. They were growing in the other part of my esophagus. And it's some pre-cancer thing. And so I had to keep going in and being checked. And then as when I was saying that the doctor the other day started bringing that up, and I was like, I was cleared from that a long time ago. But at the time when it happened, I was thinking about this because I was young. And I went in and my mom went with me and got checked and stuff. And then the doctor came in and said, Barrett's esophagus. And so it was like this pre-cancer thing. And he started giving me this whole lecture about stress and about that it would create cancer. And that, you know, I don't remember the whole thing. I just remember after he was telling me all this, you know, and the stress, and then I already had this pre-cancer thing, it would give me this cancer in my throat. And I don't think my dad had, oh man, maybe he already had throat cancer at this point. I don't know, but I can't remember when he got it. But so I had, I just remember I was crying and crying in there. It was in the recovery room, and my mom was there. And I was crying and crying, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get cancer. Being married to him stresses me so much out. I'm going to fucking get cancer and die from this. I just remember feeling like that so much, and I was crying about it. And it was like the first time I think that I realized like that I could get cancer from living in a stressful situation. It wasn't like I stopped right then. It went on for years. But I did get cleared of the Barrett's esophagus thing. And then, you know, then went into the, because the guy was making fun of me at work. Because when I would go in the morning, especially like you heard me in the morning time, and then I would go into work and he would make fun of me the way I talked. And, you know, like, I don't know, you just don't notice your own self until someone points shit out like that. Like, that's the kind of stuff that's always traumatizing us, you know? Like, that's the kind of stuff where people start trying to change their voice and stuff. So, yeah, he was making fun of me. And then, so it brought to my attention. So I kept thinking, well, what is wrong with my voice? Like, why does it sound like that? Why do I sound like I've been smoking and drinking all night? Like, what the hell's going on? And so then I started paying attention, like, when it would show these old ladies, like, in bars and stuff, and it would be like, oh, my God, that's my voice. Like, what the hell? And so, anyways, I wanted to ask them. And at that point, I know my dad had throat cancer. I already knew. And I was really worried because I have these, it's like on my throat always feels kind of raw in there. But I know I don't have all the acid and stuff anymore. I don't have that anymore. That is the stressful part. But I think it has got the scar tissue. That's what the ENT told me. Because then the next EGD, I was asking him, can you tell like why my throat, like why it sounds like this when I talk? And so he said that they couldn't see. I had to go into an ENT. So I had to go there and do that test and then look down in there. And that's when they said there's scar tissue in there from the acid burning into my throat. And that, I guess, is like the stuff that were the cancer thing in the throat thing. But my dad, he had the throat cancer and he had the hole cut. And he would have he would have coughing fits. And he didn't want to go and travel or anything because of the coughing. It would be, he said it's so embarrassing. Like, I know it's embarrassing. Like, I'll start coughing. I can't quit coughing. I don't know, it's like the place down in there. It's just like it gets like triggered somehow. And that is, I don't know. I know there's other energetic forces around, because it's weird how you can just be sitting there talking and all of a sudden it's like something stabs you in the throat, or something claws across your throat, or it's weird. Like all these different things where it feels like something is like doing that. It feels like something is, I don't know. I feel like that there is definitely certain energy that is definitely under attack. Like the more you focus on the light, the more that it isn't like that they can win, like, because it's already written. They don't win. This is, that video I shared earlier, I thought it was cool. Somebody had done it, and it's only 2 minutes, but it was saying something. I just all of a sudden saw a view of something that it had in one of the visual things, where it was showing about the dark to light and how it works together, and how the different times, like we are coming out of the dark ages and we're going into the light and into the golden age. And so the dark, though, in the dark ages, and what we're leaving from, see, people did things because they didn't have the awareness. And so they didn't know, but it's not like a punishment, but kind of like, not like your soul's reprimanding you, but it's like, so you can see for yourself how you can be put off. Like what is your temptations? What is it that gets you to not listen, to go against your own truth, to, you know, what are the things, the lures, the temptations? It's for you to see for yourself, so you can understand yourself. So it's not like punishment, but it's still stuff you got to look at. It's stuff that you got to see about yourself. And our society is just full of it, full of neediness and desperation. And you know what, I don't know if I already had said this on here or whatever, you know, I don't understand how these girls, like, you got to think, like, if you, like these girls who are just trying to get a man, and they're just taking off more clothes, like, there's something wrong in our society, man. And so taking off more clothes and more clothes, it's like the person who is your highest match, you know, the person who is your match at your highest version of self, at your highest level, they love you and respect you. So why, it's almost like you're disrespecting them by disrespecting yourself. But there's no way that if you're disrespecting yourself, there's no way that somebody who respects you can come in. So can you see how, like, as long as you continue to disrespect yourself, you keep yourself in that energy to learn how to love and respect yourself, because you're not even anywhere close. Like, you can't go and disrespect yourself if you're looking for someone who's going to respect you. Like, it seems so clear. But, like, you keep seeing these people, like, they think like they're going to just catch a guy, catch a man from taking off more clothes. Like, there's not a million girls out there doing that too. It's like, man, I think, you know, it would be, you know, more productive to find out, like, what you are interested in, what you're good at, and go out and start doing those things, and then you'll start meeting people who are in your vibration, and, you know, you'll start finding people who are more in alignment with you than just, you know, sitting around like, what could I take off today? Maybe somebody will ask me out or something. It's like, oh my gosh. Just more of just our society. But how can you tell people to go out and respect themselves when we got, like, the top kind of women in our society who were supposed to be successful who take all their clothes off. It's like, well, I mean, I guess the girls who don't want to take their clothes off, they're just kind of uppity. Like our society is just like, it's like our society, it is Sodom and Gomorrah. It's just like a stripper cafe. It's like, if you don't want to strip, then what are you doing here? Like, I don't know. There's just a lot of, nothing changes until we start looking at it, until we start thinking about it and saying that, we want to make changes. And I swear to God, all the changes start with self. Learning how to love yourself, learning how to give yourself respect, learning how to, have boundaries. The world changes when people have good boundaries. When people can, and when people are not trying to get things from other people. Like, people are always trying to get things from other people and manipulate. And it just is, I don't know. I just think it's, we've got to aim higher. We've got to do better. Do more. Set a higher standard. Not be so, I don't know. Our society is just becoming, it's going to change. It's like we were being degraded, and then we got to hit rock bottom so that we can climb ourselves back up, because that's the only way out of it. You literally do have to hit rock bottom. And that is what we're witnessing. There's so many people, it's crazy how much abuse that some people are willing to take. It's like it's the government abusing you. And people just take it. And then tell everybody else, well, you should take it too. No, I don't think so. I think as soon as you start realizing that you don't deserve it, then you're going to feel kind of embarrassed for what you did take. That's the awakening right there. And that is, where everybody's got to wake up to, how much abuse will you take? Why? Why do you allow them to abuse you? Why? And what they've done to our society, how much they've dumbed it down. People really don't know how to do very much stuff. They don't believe in themselves because they don't know how to do very much stuff. They know how to get to work. They know how to get to the bank. They know how to do their job. Well, for the most part, most people do. But, for their own skills, to be able to take care of themselves and do things for themselves and not need any government. The government's weaseled their way into so many people's lives. So many people think they need what the government is offering. And then you owe them, your loyalty, your taxes. It's all a game. It's all manipulation. You got to not want anything from them. But it's a step down. Don't be hard on yourself, because it is a step down. But, and everybody's going to keep on stepping. And there's going to be, I feel like that this awakening event, whatever's about to happen, it seems like it's just so close. But I feel like it's like pushing everybody, but it's not pushing them off the cliff. It's going to feel like, oh my God, we're going to go off the cliff, but really it's going to be some stairs, and they're all going to stumble and fall. And then they're going to have to get up, and then they're going to have to figure it out. And that's when everything's going to start shifting. It's the awakening part. It's the waking up and starting to realize, what the fuck? That's when things are going to just keep shifting. And, we're already getting so much stuff exposed. We already have so many people talking about all the stuff going on. But there is going to be more, because there's people who are going down. There's people who are going to be going, a lot of these politicians and stuff. I swear to God, I heard 98% long time ago, and I still think, I bet it's going to be almost all of them, because there's just too much temptation. People just get tempted, or they get themselves into a mess, or they become loyal to the wrong guy. Like, there's a lot going on, but each soul has to face it themselves, because the whole thing is about learning how to love yourself and love everybody else, and have a loving day, and I'll talk to you later.